Welcome back, fellow peasants! In this video, I want to talk about the top 3 things you can do to improve your life as a peasant, or at the very least, to make things a bit easier for your existence as a modern-day peasant. If you're just tuning in and wondering why the hell I'm calling you a peasant, go back and watch my other videos. You can also buy my short ebook on Amazon for 99 cents. I think you get it free if you have that Kindle Prime, whatever subscription thing, called Corporate Feudalism, How to Survive in Retail as a Modern-Day Peasant. In there, I've provided a handful of tips and tricks to make your life easier while working in that soul-crushing industry. So let's get started. Number 1, get a side hustle. Some of you may be thinking, blah, 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 I've heard this gimmick before, whatever. And I only hear it from grifters and people who got lucky. How do I actually make money with a side hustle? What should I do? I don't have any particular skills I can make money with. Okay, yeah, I get it. I've heard the same thing too. And yes, there are a lot of grifters and lucky folks who can make good money with a side hustle, assuming they're telling the truth. But I'm not talking about big bucks on the side. Although some effort and skill, I'm sure it could come to that eventually. I'm talking about something on a small scale, something that won't require a whole lot of time or effort. After all, a side hustle is, well, on the side. You may have a full-time job, and the last thing you want to do is come home and do more work. You'd rather veg out, watching Netflix, play video games, smoke weed, whatever your thing is. I get it. I get it. I've done that too. We've all done that. So I want to actually give you a personal, real-life example on how it's possible. One of my hobbies is gardening, and one day I decided, hey, you know what, I like gardening, and I have a fairly decent green thumb. I'm going to sell peppers and tomatoes on Facebook Marketplace. It took me like 10 minutes to do a little bit of market research. I looked to see how many listings for peppers and tomatoes there were, notated the prices, and looked at prices for them at local retailers like Lowe's. So I had a general idea how much I could sell them for. For about a month and some change, I had a massive inventory of peppers and tomatoes. They were mostly tomatoes, but peppers were actually in really high demand. I ran out, so I kept that in mind for the future to grow more. And I knew my plants looked better than all the other listings, and I could actually also undercut Lowe's and air quotes steal their business. And my plants actually looked better than Lowe's as well. They were selling these tiny things, almost $5 a pop. It was ridiculous. But anyways, here is exactly what I did. I'm going to tell you exactly what I did, because a lot of people out there will just bullshit you. They'll be vague, whatever. Try to hide the small details of what they did because they don't want other people to do exactly what they did. Whatever. So what I did was I had all my plants set up on a folding table outside under some shade cloth, and I took 3 or 4 decent pictures and then listed all the peppers and tomatoes for $3 each. Though I could have sold the peppers for more, but honestly I wanted to have a really good price and be cheaper than the big corporate retailers, because fuck them. So I can actually help people out, because peasants gotta help out other peasants. And so with the listing all set up, all I had to do was wait, and about every couple days, every 2 to 3 days, maybe 4, I would get about 2 to 3 messages from people asking about the plant, and most of them were asking if it was still available. And I usually respond pretty quickly, and I just tell them yes. And this was the one really annoying part. For whatever reason, the turnover rate for potential sales was really high, meaning like I would get a ton of hits, right? And I would respond to these people. They would ask you the question, you respond immediately, and then they just ghost you. Like, they don't even say anything. It's like, why the fuck are you asking me if I still have the tomatoes if you're not serious about coming and buying them? I have no fucking idea. I don't know why people do that. Anyways, over the course of about 2 months, I had about 40 hits or so, and only about 15 to 20% ended up as a sale. And over those 2 months, I made about $150 to $200. I can't exactly remember how much. And you may be thinking like, wait, that's not very much. 150, 200 bucks. Think about it. That could be your phone bill for 2 months. It could be part of your car payment or rent. I mean, it can go to any other utility or bill. It can go to groceries. Yeah, there's a lot of things that you can use that money for. And the best part about it, and the number one seller about doing something like that, no, I guess no pun intended, is how easy it was. I mean, honestly, it was really freaking easy. I plant the seeds, germinate them indoors, put them outside, water them once a day, and then that's it. That's all there was to it. It's just water and patience. So I put up the listing, and I wait for people to come to me. They have to come pick it up themselves. I never delivered because I didn't want to fucking go anywhere, especially if they were just buying one or two plants. You know, it's like what, $6. It wasn't really worth my trip. And the great thing about it is that the people who came to me, usually they'd buy multiple plants, like 3, 4, 5, 6 per visit. I averaged about $20 per visit. So the main two things that I just want to point out is that, number one, it was super fucking easy, and number two, this is actually very important, I did absolutely zero advertising. None. I didn't spend a dime. I could have spent $10 on Facebook Marketplace, maybe done like a Twitter ad, or I don't know, and I would have gotten a lot more traffic, but I didn't. The whole thing, it was just an experiment, and it worked out. And now I know how to do an even better job next time. That's the great thing about it. It's like, you do it, you make some mistakes. In my case, I made a couple mistakes. I didn't grow enough, whatever. And I should have advertised, but I didn't. But next time I will. Anyways, that's my long-winded personal story about how I took something that it was just a hobby. It's not like a passion. I mean, maybe it is a passion, but it's a hobby that I was doing. I'm like, why can't I just do it on the side and make some money? But yeah, that's the story. You just really need to find something you enjoy doing, or you're really good at, and think of ways to make money with it. And listen, I completely understand people when they say, "Oh, I have no idea what to do. I have no idea, what kind of thing I should start. It's easier said than done." And I do get it. I don't even know what my real passion is to this day. Like, no freaking clue. Like, career-wise, I'm just bouncing around. I have no idea. So I understand. Like, hey, you just gotta find your passion. You just gotta find what you're good at. But I mean, everyone is good at something. That's the point. You're good at something. Just find what you're good at, and pursue that. But yeah, I mean, maybe you're a mechanic or some type of technician. You could like go diagnose cars or do whatever. I don't know anything about mechanics. You can network, tell your friends, they tell their friends, they tell their family, and then pretty soon you've got people in your DMs asking you to come do some mechanic thing. Give you like $20 or something, like, hey, so and so, can you check my whatever? I think something's wrong with it, or that's just an example. I mean, if you're artistic, you can make art for people. I mean, people love art, they love decorations, all kinds of stuff like that. If you're good at that, and I don't care who you are. I mean, everyone is at least good at one thing. At least one thing. Okay, most people are good at more than one thing, but at least one thing. And if you still don't know, maybe ask your friends and family, because a lot of the times different perspectives can give you a lot of insight. Some things that you had no idea about. You're like, wow, oh, well, I didn't really realize that. Okay, yeah, so that's really important. All right, next one. Number 2, prepare your own food. And I'm not even kidding. There are so many problems that can be attributed to eating junk every day. I mean, it makes you fat, it affects your mood, it can have long-term effects on your mind and body. It's just not good. And no, I'm not gonna cite 10 peer-reviewed studies because I don't work for you. All right, you can look it up yourself if you're interested, but trust me, it's just not good. It's like common fucking sense. And maybe you're the guy that's like, hey, I don't eat junk, I hardly eat out, and I buy healthy food. Really? I mean, do these healthy foods happen to come in a convenient package, and is it pre-cooked? Are you just buying like pre-made shit? Or do you think it's healthy? I mean, there could be a million things. But I mean, even if it is healthy, that's only one of the reasons to actually make your own food. Another is obviously price. So yes, you can. Yes, making your own food can save you a shit ton of money. There's a lot of things that are really cheap, especially the staples. You can buy buckets of beans, rice, potatoes, different grains, pastas and things like that for super cheap. And the only issue is the protein. Protein can be a bit pricey, so If you want to save money, you may need to cut down a bit on the protein, the chicken, the beef, things like that. Or maybe you don't even need to cut down on that. Maybe all the money that you spent on all that expensive junk, because yeah, you buy frozen stuff, you buy pre-prepared stuff. That stuff is more expensive. It's convenient, right? So if you cut all that shit out, maybe you'll have enough money to where you can pretty much buy as much protein as you want. Maybe it's not even an issue. But if you can't, then just buy protein in smaller amounts and try to stretch out the portions. Like instead of eating a whole chicken breast with some seasoned rice, maybe add more rice, or add like something else to the dish. Maybe add some like carrots or potatoes. Or, I don't know. Just be creative. But yeah, just use like half a chicken breast instead. Another reason to cook, and this is just my own personal opinion, is that I think that everybody should have that skill anyway. It is an essential skill. I don't care if you're the guy that's like, oh, but I hate cooking, it's so boring, or oh, I'm so bad at it, I can't ever do it right, or I'm just too lazy, lol. I don't care. Everyone should have that skill, right? If you suck at cooking, just pick like 1 or 2 dishes and just do that. Get really good at it, and those are like your 1 or 2 dishes. You can even cook your dish, like on the weekend. Maybe freeze it or put it in the fridge. Take it to work. Just 1 or 2. If you suck at it, just do that. Get really good at it. Fine. I mean, just anything. Literally, just do it. Anything. Knowing how to cook should be mandatory. Just like how you learned how to drive a car. I think this is a skill you must have. And so, I mean, in short, just cook your own food because it's generally cheaper if you're wise with your spending. It's healthier, and it's a necessary skill I personally think that everybody should have. And finally, number 3, stop caring until it becomes worth it. Now, what do I mean by this? Let's say you're a retail wage slave. Managers give you shit for being late. They put a lot of pressure on you to get certain things done. Maybe your coworkers talk behind your back. What you do is just literally stop caring. Don't even give them the time of day. They're coworkers. They're peasants like you. Who gives a shit what they say, right? They're probably not even your friends. Do they pay your bills? Does them talking behind your back affect your performance, your paycheck? No, it doesn't. I mean, at least it shouldn't. Let's say you're late because you hate your job and you just don't give a fuck. Well, that's good. Now you just gotta not give a fuck when you get reprimanded for being late. They threaten your job if you're late X number more times. Okay, so what? Who the fuck cares? On that final strike, just quit before they can fire you. You'll find another peasant job anyway, especially in this climate, since people just don't want to work. You'll find another one pretty easily, especially if you're just jumping from peasant job to peasant job. Fuck it. Just do that. Maybe your boss wants to guilt you for trying to take time off, like, oh man, so-and-so, we're really busy, really, a Saturday, there's so-and-so's the only one here, or we don't have any coverage. Fuck that shit, okay? Don't give a fuck. Under no circumstances should you ever feel bad or stressed because coworkers and managers want to squeeze every ounce of work out of you, okay? So when is it worth it? I mean, this is just me personally. It may be different for you, but to me, it's worth it whenever I finally break out of wage slave poverty, and I'm making good money. Hopefully, I have my own house, and I actually enjoy my job. That's when it's worth it, to me at least. They want to make me come in on the weekend, or they want to make me work overtime, but I'm making like 80K, 100K, whatever, somewhere up there. And fuck yeah, I'll do it. Fuck yeah, I'll do it. I mean, you just gotta make sure you balance your work life. Just don't sell your soul for money. Don't be that guy that's working his freaking balls off, and he's working himself to death, and he's actually miserable and stressed out because he's working too hard. He gets too stressed out because boss is like, oh yeah, we got this deadline, blah blah blah, and it's it's really bad. I need you to come in, do all this, whatever. Or this customer is pissed off. You gotta deal with him. Just don't get stressed out. Just fucking chill, take it easy, and just keep a level head. Right? Just don't sell your soul for money. That's really, really important, right? And a really important thing is your mental health. Just mental health is one of the most important things that you can take care of. Okay, you can be a peasant working a bullshit job, but you can still have a decent, um, a decent state of mental health. Like if you just stop giving a shit and you're working some dumbass peasant job, you just do the bare minimum, just chill, relax, don't stress. That's more important than anything else, to be honest. But anyways, so those are my top 3 tips, and some of the things I talk about are actually in my short ebook. Link is going to be in the description, and I encourage everyone to check it out and leave me a 5-star review and a goofy ass, funny, retarded comment, please. And anyways, thanks for listening to my stupid ass rant, and I'll see you peasants later.